Hello and thanks for joining me for another episode of the Outback Pawn Shop in Kenshi. So in the last episode we put up some exterior lighting for the night time on the edge of our buildings, and in between episodes I processed some of our ore, got back to the farming and started doing the following research list. And in the last few episodes recently, I've been grinding through all this research and doing some farming in between the research as the crops were due. But typically I've been doing that grinding off camera, and tend to miss out on a lot of shenanigans that happen, such as this skimmer here that came along. So I figured today we're just going to do a normal day at the office and do what I do. So I do have the farms at the first priority in the job list here. So he's going to do those first and concentrate on some grog production, and we got rum production inside here as well. Now I'm also put a bit of put a few chew sticks into the queue here because our food has been getting cleaned out. We've got some food, but that's expensive food, and we need a little bit of cheaper food in there for some of the less wealthy of our customers that come along. So this is just going to be a pretty chilled out episode. Most of it's going to be on autopilot with the jobs list, only deviating from that when and if something happens, when we get certain visitors. It's a little quiet around the homestead at the moment. But there is usually always some shenanigans, and if I do this off camera, or something's going on down here. Okay, so the skimmer just took out the bounty hunter's bone dog. Let's see if we can take on this skimmer. We're still not super good as far as combat is concerned. Let's just slow that down a little. There is a second skimmer coming, so... Well, we managed to take that one out. Let's see how we fare against this one. We do kick our butt a little bit. But we're getting a little bit better. Let's just run inside for a minute, patch up. Speed that up. Alright, let that second skimmer go. Let's go after him now. So, I mean, this has not really been a combat run. Well, we managed to take care of him though. But we do want some combat experience. Well, that guy got up because we didn't loot him, so... But he's pretty injured, so we should be able to take him out again. No, we don't want to first aid him, we want to loot him. Alright, put the jobs back on now. The 2 sticks that we just made. pop these in here. Seeing as we don't have a great deal of stuff for the caravans at the moment. But let's put those 2 sticks in there. And he's set up to haul meat directly to this campfire over here. We do have a visitor here. Who's this? Okay, they're not going to buy anything. So if you are just joining me for the first time, there will be a link in the description below for the playlist. Starting off, we started off this run with the rock bottom start, so with no money, no clothes, and missing an arm. And my rules for this series is I'm not allowed to sell to shops, I'm not allowed to sell directly to caravans, I'm not allowed to hand in bounties, I'm not allowed to sell slaves. The only way that I am allowed to make money is through sales from our shop counter. So that means they have to come and buy from us. If I can get my words out. And so we started off with the rock bottom start and built all this up from nothing. And without selling anything directly to any merchants. So if you want to know how we get started, then definitely check out the first episode and you can watch the rest of the whole series. So at the moment we have got some grog production up here. I'm just going to pause it while I grab that out of there and pop it into the shop, which we're not in range of. Let's move it a little closer. So we are producing our own grog. We're producing our own rum. We are producing meds, although we've run out for the moment. We can produce some food, which we've been doing with the chew sticks. We are using these cactus farms over here. Which I'll just check. Yeah, these cactus farms are not ours, so he doesn't auto-haul them properly. As far as the map is concerned, we are up here. So this blue is our area, and this old village is 6 cactus farms here and these buildings in here. Got a hydroponic hemp farm and a hydroponic wheat straw farm in here. And who have we got rolling in here? That's the same dude. Who's this? Manhunter. I'm going to go and stealth KO that Manhunter. I think he was going to try and get that guy as a slave, but I'm going to take this stuff because we can melt this down for iron. I'm going to put the first aid kit in there that gets rid of the stolen tag. We'll melt that down. This chew stick in here, we'll put that in there. And we'll go back to the auto jobs. Got another skimmer out here. Okay, let's have a go at this one. So now we do have foraging animals in our queue, which you can do by holding down shift and loot, but they will only loot the meat. They won't take out the they won't take out those claws there, so we've got to do that manually. Let's pop those in here. That bounty hunter bone dog is dead, so let's go grab that stuff. These teeth in there, they're not worth much, but it doesn't matter. Let's come over here. Let's patch up this guy, I guess. He's never going to buy anything, but the more NPCs that there are for anything to fight, I mean, slavers need to, well, not the manhunters, they never buy anything, but the normal slavers, they do need to make money in order to spend money. So we do want to keep someone around that they can take back to the slave camps. So now he's gone to researching while we're waiting for crops to grow. Do have that at a higher priority than medication, so maybe I will manually get him working on the medical bench. Do have a bit of a queue here. Alright, let's put in a third one there. The splint kits above those. We'll put a sleeping bag in there too. And of course, because I got him manually working that, as soon as he finished it, went back to researching. Actually, let's put the partially used one in there. Alright, so this bench here, this is all stuff that the caravans will buy. Sometimes the tech hunters will buy some of the things that I put in here. This is everyday stuff that slave traders, tech hunters, wandering assassins, mercenaries and other randoms will come along and buy. And this one here is experimental, so I've never actually sold any armor. Just got this in here to see if it will sell. Same as that. Don't know if raw meat will ever sell. It's just in here purely for experiments. These do sell, but not very often. Pretty rare to sell them, but they will sell. And I have sold bolts in other areas, other locations, but not here. Let's get you back on the medical bench. Let's have a scan around. There's another skimmer up there. A few more out there. Alright, not seeing any groups or caravans. Who are these guys? More manhunters. So these guys never buy anything, and sometimes they decide that that I look like I might make a decent slave, so I'm just gonna knock them out. We're not super good at combat just yet. We're getting our toughness up there. We're getting up there with a bit of melee, but we are pretty sneaky and pretty fast. Pretty good at knocking people out. So this is the sort of usual shenanigans that go on usually when I'm grinding away off camera. We're not going to fit another one. Knock him out anyway. Alright, let's dump that on the ground. Okay, am I in range of that? I am. That's an easy bunch of iron there. Let's pop all these in there. So things will sell if they've got the stolen tag, but they won't stack or combine. Alright. We hold down Alt, we can see the stuff that we dropped on the ground. Let's pick that up. Okay, let's come down closer to our shop counter. Shove those in there. And pop his job back on. Actually, maybe we'll go check these two buildings that belong to the old village. These do have some items that respawn. There's 3 spots in each of these where stuff will respawn. Won't show up unless we actually go into the building though. Alright, so what do we get? Steel bars. Let's pop those straight in there. And got starving vagrants. We'll take those guys on. Actually, let's go. Attack. Alright, let's turn your job off for a minute. Let's grab the gear off these guys. It's more iron for us. And we'll patch these guys up so that they can get up and fight another day. Alright. Melt that stuff down. Take a load out of there. Put his jobs back on. Let's shove all that in there. Take out another load. We'll shovel that in there too. A few more over here. Let's go and take those guys on as well. Now, if you've got ranged on and there's one on the ground and you're trying to attack it, you won't actually attack them. Let's turn your job off. Let's grab the gear off of these guys. Patch them up. And if these guys find anyone else that's knocked out, they will steal weapons off them. So it is possible that they might come back with more weapons. We'll shove that stuff in there. Pop all this away. There's 64 iron without doing hardly anything. Let's pop your job back on and he'll be automatically hauling that to the processor. We do have Traders Guild somewhere. Alright, so these guys never have any money. No money, but we'll buy a couple of things off them. That'll give them a little bit of spending money that they can spend in our shop. Let's pop these books straight in here, but we're not close enough. And let me see. A lot of this research I'm not actually going to use. I think my goal is just going to be to research everything. But these guys coming in to do some shopping. All they've got is a little bit of money. They bought up a couple of bits of food. All the cheap food is gone. The chew sticks and the meat. And so basically he's just on autopilot at the moment, doing this list of jobs in priority of number 1 down to the bottom. And it's a lot of running around, but this is all good athletics and stealth. Stealth only when there's lots of people around, but we're pretty high up, so it's very slow. Very slow progress with those now. So everything counts. And I think having the exterior lighting means that so we're in full light, which does make our stealth a little bit more difficult, but also helps out our experience. We could probably help that out a bit more by taking off our stealth legs and getting some different legs, but that's fine. We're I mean, we're capped out anyway. His priority is working the, or hauling the plates. So by the time he gets over to the cactus farm there, we're only working 2 of the cactus farms. There's 6 here, but we're working 2 of them. I could work all 6, but I don't want to spend all of my time just farming cactus. So we're just doing the 2, which is enough to sort of keep a little bit of rum production and a bit of food production going in between other things. So, I mean, the key to running a shop with shop counters is to have a diversity of different goods. So, going to let a bunch of different type of people. So he's been turned into a slave, but let's patch him up. It's different NPCs will want to buy different stuff. I'm hoping that we'll get a slaver caravan. Who are these guys? Mercenaries. So the slavers are going to buy alcohol. I don't know if they'll buy the grog. They usually buy some rum. Tech hunters might buy the grog. But the slaver caravans have been a good source of crossbows. And the crossbows will sell. The Western Hive will buy those when they come along. Let's just grab everything out of here. Alright, now I think our hemp barrel is full. So I'm thinking maybe, I've been buying cloth or fabric. And we could make our own fabric. But I've been buying that off of the Traders Guild just to give them some money that they can buy our other stuff off, and we do make a profit on that fabric. But what we might do, maybe we'll put in a hemp processor. Because that's going to be a bit more profitable than just selling the excess hemp in here. So what do we need for that? Oh, we need copper alloy plates for that. Okay. So we need a copper alloy bench. I suppose we'll put that here. May as well make use of that one lamp post that's there. We've got a big list of stuff that he's doing, so might not get into producing a lot of that stuff just yet. Let him catch up on a bit of medical supplies and stuff first, but let's have a look here. So he did get that built. Don't know that we've got a lot of copper though. We've got some. So how about we grab that. Yeah, I've got him set to whole copper, so I'm just going to pop that in there manually. Let's get him working that. I don't know if the copper plates will sell, so that'll be something that we can test out. This only requires 3. So I'm not sure how many we get from one bit of ore. And this actually comes under engineering. Alright, that's the 3. And we can offload that in there. Alright, but it's a pretty quiet day. With some shenanigans going on over in the distance. Manhunters and vagrants by the look of it. Let's just check this farm. Let's grab that out of there. So for the most part he's on autopilot, but you do have to micromanage some things. You know, if I wasn't doing a solo run, I'd have a character that was specifically just doing farming, and that's all they would ever do. Then I'd probably have one that was cooking. I would have one that was, well, if I wasn't doing shop counters only, I'd be having one that was crafting armor, and another one making weapons. Looks like we've got a skimmer here. Don't know if there's a whole nest there. Let's have a go at this guy. Alright, so, yeah, where'd he go? There he is. Let's grab that stuff. Let's pop the claws away. And let's just quickly give our arms and legs a quick polish. There we go. Alright. So at least now we can handle a skimmer on our own. Who are these guys? Starving vagrants. But I am a little bit injured, so I'm not going to worry about taking them on just yet. Got to get some produce happening. So let's have a look here. Didn't hold that. Let's pop this piece of meat in there too. Grab that out. grab those. All right, these 2 sticks. Let me just check my personal stash of food. We've got a bit in there, so let's grab that out. Keep a little bit for ourselves. All right, so at least now we've got some cheaper food in there. Let's just check this building again, because we didn't get a full spawn last time. Some steel bars, some iron, some gears, tech hunters, and I think sometimes the Western Hive might buy those. And who we got here? Mercenaries who can't afford anything. Let's pop that in there. Can't fit any more steel bars in there, that's fine. Can haul those. Yep. So I'm not keeping a permanent queue in there. I only queue it up if we run low on meat. I queue up a few. And now the cactus can go back to the rum production. And we'll take that out of there. Get that into the shop. And actually, let's get him back on the medical bench. Actually turn the jobs off for a minute. We'll get some medical supplies happening. Alright. Put the partially used one in there. Keep one for myself. Just going to top up my bolts. And he's made another one. So let's get that in there. Those other basic ones have almost gone. There's one left there. Who are these guys? Bounty hunters. They might, if they can afford it, buy some rum. Yeah. Did I have 4? I think I did. So they bought up the med kits as well. So let's keep this production going. that out. Wait. Did I not just take a splint kit out of there? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Thought I was going crazy for a minute there. Splint kit. Wandering assassin came back. Okay, so that's all the medical supplies gone already. And nothing touched in there. Most of this won't go until the Western Hive shows up. Although the tech hunters might buy, I know they buy gears. I think they sometimes also buy the chainmail. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's keep this medical bench working. Okay. Let's get that splint kit in there. Who's this? Bounty hunters. They're coming back. They're probably going to buy that splint kit. Yep. Alright, I think I'm just going to put his jobs back on. And he'll get back to the medical stuff as soon as he's finished everything else that he's got queued. I do have the farming prioritized because if you leave it too long, oops, what do we got going on here? Slave hunter. Well, you attacked me, not the other way around, so let's patch him up. I just like to keep all the NPCs healthy, because even if they don't fight me, they might fight somebody else, which encourages sales of medical supplies. Not that we're really keeping up with the demand of medical supplies so far, but let's get that in there. So yeah, I have, as I was saying before, I have the farming prioritized because once a crop has grown, you do have a certain amount of time to harvest it before it gets wasted, so let's just check what we've got here. Just a couple of small ones to do. I don't know if we'll ever use them. Battery capacity is that's an automatic upgrade, so we don't need to upgrade our battery banks for that. And we quite probably don't need them. Let's just pick this guy up. We can pop him. Oh, Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to put him on the bed. But he got up and walked away. Okay, let's pick that up. And pop that back down. Just have a scan around for any more shenanigans. Should get a visit from the Western Hive pretty soon. There's some skimmers over there. I'm not sure who they're fighting. There's a guru there. Okay. I'm gonna go over there. This guru is a lot of meat. The meat's already been scavenged. I bet it'll be on one of these guys. Now these outlaw farmers have never come. They've never come into my settlement. Let's patch him up. Looks like somebody's lost some legs. Yeah, there's all the meat. And we'll take whatever can be melted down. All right. Let's, wait, are you dead? Okay, you're dead. All right. Looks like this guy's dead too. Possibly. Is he? Yep. All right. That's fine. There's more over here. Let's self-KO this guy. Loot this one. All right. And he's fine. What do we got down here? Okay, the sandals are no good, but the boots will melt down. Looks like we've got more over here, not just sandals. Okay. This is all free iron. And I could probably get more economical amounts out of it, but I'm not too fussed. So it's 0.5, so it's no point melting that down. But let's launder these. Get them in the shop. And so he's cooking and auto-hauling the meat. Have a look. We don't need that much in our private stash, so oops. Let's get all that into the shop. Let's drop these skins off. Let's top up my bolts. Yeah, I could start making my own bolts, but it's not a thing that seems to sell a lot. So Hopefully we get some more, another slaver caravan that comes along that I can get some bolts off. Here's some Guru. Let's see if we can get that one on the back of that line there. Yep, got that one separated out, so a bit more meat and leather. And he should auto-loop the whole lot. Let's just check. Didn't take the leather, so, or the skins rather. So let's grab those. Pop your sneak back on. I'm not going to take on a whole bunch of skimmers. We'll just quickly give my robotic arms and legs a quick polish in the skeleton repair bed. That'll do. Quiet times as far as customers are concerned. Nothing incoming. So at the start of the game, we were getting hassled every second day by tax collectors. And then one lone tech hunter had a big fight with all the tax collectors and they kind of got stuck hanging out over here and then they disappeared and they've never been back since. So haven't had to worry about them. Who have we got over here? More manhunters. I don't want manhunters, I want slave traders. Who are these guys? Ah, these are the ones that I want. Okay. So I don't want to get in their bad books. This guy here. Trolling. And none of them are shopping. They can afford it, they will buy rum. But every now and then one will come in here while I'm in there. Let's have a look if any of these guys got bows on them. That one there does. Looks like someone just bought some grog. Alright, wonder if I can get away with this without any of the others seeing me. Yep, there's the grog. So that guy just bought grog and I'm just going to steal it straight back off him. Let's launder it. That can go in there. That can go in there. That can go in there. That can go in my personal stash. And back to work. So you don't want to get seen by the other slavers when you do that. Typically what I'll do is sometimes when I've been at the research bench in there, like this is marked as a private building, they seem to ignore that, like this one. And because he's inside, doesn't matter whether it's a private building or not, but no one else is in there. They don't see me do this. It's relatively safe. Pick him up and I'll put him out here. All right. Let's get that in there. Pop that in there. So the crossbows will sell. When the Western Hive comes by, let's just check that rum. Let's grab that out. Got any grog up here? Nope. Okay. Let's get that rum in there. Yeah, this one would be a bit dodgy because he's almost out the door. So I won't worry about him. I've got bolts now. Got a couple of crossbows to sell. Let's grab the cactus. Who's fighting up here? Sand ninjas. Okay. Well, we definitely want to loot these guys. Patch him up. Whoops. Well, not going to stick around with all of them skimmers about. Let's turn off the jobs for a sec and have a look. Got some more steel bars in here. More up here. So if we ever catch up on our current production queue, we'll turn those into chainmail, which sells quite good. The fuel in there. Let's launder this stuff. And I'm just going to melt those bolts down. Let's get those crossbows in there. So I don't know of any other weapons that sell, but crossbows do. Let's just top up our personal supply there. Steel bars in here. Pop your job back on. Looks like it's safe to go heal these guys up. It's like a missed one though. Take that, thank you. Alright. Let's pick this guy up. Let's put him in a bed. And that one. So sand ninjas never buy anything, but neither will skimmers. But if they're all healed up, they will fight with other NPCs that come along, encouraging them to use up and buy more first aid kits. So at least we'll get some use out of our interior decorating. Yeah, did you get all the cactus out of that? Nope. Yeah, I'm too far away to reach the shop counter there. Now we can shove that in there. So see how that just combined with that one. If it still had the stolen flag on it, it wouldn't combine. And our farming skill is getting up there. But I bet you left some cactus in there, you did. Alright. Get that rum pumping out. Still got a bit of research to be done. But anyway, so that was an average couple of days just hanging out on the property at the Outback pawn shop. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.